Mike.
Yeah, we're okay.
Okay, shut the thing off.
Shut it down.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Meet you there.
Okay.
For years, fans believed they'd seen every twist the Yukon had to offer. But nothing, absolutely nothing, comes close to what was just uncovered beneath Tony Beets' own home. One quiet scan, one unexpected ping, and suddenly the king of the Klondike was standing over a secret so wild it left even veteran miners speechless. This wasn't a broken pipe, a lost tool, or some old debris. What they found was something powerful, something untouched, something that changes everything we thought we knew about Gold Rush and the Beets family legacy. If you think Tony has seen it all, think again, because this discovery rewrites the entire story. Stick around because it only gets crazier from here. Long before Gold Rush turned him into a global mining icon, Tony Beets was just a tough kid growing up on a dairy farm in Wiedings, a small village in the Netherlands. At 7 years old, while other children played in fields, Tony was already working like a grown man, milking cows, stacking feed, running daily chores before school and again after sunset. His family later moved to Friesland, where the young Tony found himself responsible for even more work as the farm struggled to stay afloat. Those early years shaped a mindset forged in discipline. Every long day, every struggle, every setback planted the seeds of a man who would never shy away from hard labor or impossible odds. Stop by 24. Tony was ready to gamble everything on a new life. With his longtime sweetheart Minnie, he left the Netherlands behind and moved to Canada in 1984. But the gold he chased didn't appear instantly. He spent 3 grueling years in construction before finally listening to the call of the wild north. Stories of buried fortune and untamed wilderness pulled him toward Dawson City, where he began working as a machine operator in the mining fields. What started as a single job quickly ignited into an obsession. Every dollar he earned, he reinvested back into equipment. Every season, his operations expanded. Soon he had claims in Paradise Hill, Indian River, and Eureka Creek, transforming him from a farm boy into a mining powerhouse. It wasn't long before Discovery Channel's Gold Rush introduced the world to the loud, fearless, unapologetically blunt miner whose mix of wisdom, swearing, and unstoppable work ethic made him one of the most loved figures on television. But behind that loud personality lived a strategist, a dreamer, and a man willing to take risks so massive they bordered on madness. One of the most jaw-dropping moves came during Season 5 of Gold Rush, when Tony Beets bought a towering, ancient bucket-line dredge for $1 million. It was an iron giant that hadn't been used since the 1980s, a 350-ton machine that most miners considered extinct. But Tony saw potential where others saw scrap. He ordered his crew to dismantle it piece by piece, haul it across the Yukon, and rebuild it in a new location. The job took 6 brutal months. When it finally grown back to life, it couldn't just mine, it devoured earth, pumping 2,000 gallons of water a minute, acting as a dozer, loader, excavator, and rock truck all at once. By 2016, that dredge generated $7 million in gold. But as always with Tony, victory came with chaos. The dredge sank twice in 6 weeks. Sand poured into its lower decks, hatches were left open, pontoons flooded, and Tony found himself sinking millions literally into the ground. The disasters didn't end there. A Viking baptism gone wrong, where gasoline was poured and lit on the dredge pond, left Tony Beets facing $31,000 in fines and a courtroom appearance. But to him, it was simply a joke gone wrong, nothing more than another wild chapter in the book of his life. And yet, nothing, not the dredge, not the fines, not the disasters compared to the discovery that would shake Tony to his core. A discovery buried not miles deep in the wilderness, but directly beneath his own home. It began with something small, a ground-penetrating scan brought in to map out a new waterline near the Beets family home hit a strange anomaly, metallic, dense, deep. The technician scanned again, and again. Each result came back the same. Tony shrugged, thinking it was an old pipe, but the tech said something no miner ignores. No pipe reads like that. That was enough. As the sun sank behind the jagged Yukon peaks and the sky shifted from gold to deep violet, Tony Beets made a decision that would change everything. He didn't call producers. He didn't alert the Gold Rush cameras. He simply gathered a tight crew, Kevin, Mike, and 2 of his most trusted hands. No audience, No noise. This moment wasn't for the show. This was for Tony, the miner, the man. Under the cold twilight, the excavator roared to life and clawed into the frozen ground beside Tony's front porch. The crew peeled away layers of soil, expecting nothing more than modern fill or long-forgotten construction scraps. But then the tone of the gravel changed. It was dense, compacted, undisturbed. Not new, not even recent. This was ancient true virgin pay dirt, the kind miners could spend a lifetime hunting and never find. Tony jumped into the pit, scooping up the gravel with one gloved hand. When he let it spill through his fingers, it rattled like old glass. "This ground's older than hell," he muttered, a strange mix of suspicion and excitement creeping into his voice. Then it happened. A single scoop from the excavator spilled forward, and something flashed bright, unmistakable under the floodlights. "Hold it!" Tony barked. He dropped to his knees, brushed the dirt aside, and froze. There in the gravel sat a thick, heavy chunk of raw gold. Then another, and another, until the entire pit shimmered like a buried galaxy. Kevin's voice trembled as he stepped closer. "Dad, what is this?" Bucket after bucket was carried to the scale. When the first load hit the metal, the digital numbers danced upward too fast to track. The result? More gold than some multi-day runs on Tony's richest ground. And they had barely scratched the surface. But Tony knew this wasn't a stash. It wasn't accidental. It was natural formation gold born deep inside an ancient CHANNEL, sealed by permafrost and missed entirely by generations of miners. His house unknowingly sat above one of the richest untouched channels in the region. Tony stared into the pit, breath misting in the air, and whispered to himself, "All these years, right under my feet." But mining doesn't pause, not even for miracles. While the secret beneath his home remained hidden from the world, Tony charged into another season determined to break records. And he did that in Gold Rush Season 15, released through Discovery Australia. Tony shocked fans with a phenomenal 312-ounce cleanup in 1 week worth more than $750,000 thanks to soaring gold prices. His success stemmed from a daring experiment. He intentionally flooded a patch of ground and allowed it to freeze, theorizing that a thick ice cap would preserve thawed earth beneath it. Against all odds, his gamble paid off. When the crew sliced through the ice, the soil underneath was perfect for sluicing. It was engineering brilliance born from decades of instinct. Meanwhile, across the valley, things were grim for Parker Schnubble, who managed only 5.6 ounces that week, one of the worst cleanups of his career. The contrast was brutal. The king was back, and the gap between them had never been clearer. But nature always finds a way to strike back. Later in the season, while inspecting the Indian River claim, Tony noticed a surge of water flooding across his cut. A blocked culvert had forced settling pond water directly into the early bird cut, his only active producing ground at the time. Furious, he stormed toward the pond, only to find the culprit swimming in circles. A beaver. The little creature had jammed the culvert with sticks overnight, stopping water flow and nearly shutting down the entire operation. Tony called Mike immediately, who rushed in with an excavator to clear the blockage just in time. It was a hilarious yet devastating reminder that in the Yukon, even the king can be humbled by a beaver. Today, Tony Beets has an estimated net worth of $15 million. He owns colossal mining equipment, a fleet of dozers, excavators, and wash plants, including his prized dredge. He also maintains a winter home in Arizona and is known to cruise around in a Mercedes convertible, all while maintaining his rugged, unfiltered persona on Gold Rush. His home in the Canadian wilderness reflects everything about him: practical, tough, filled with memories of victories, setbacks, and family triumphs. Inside, a dedicated office serves as the nerve center of the Beets mining empire, where decisions affecting millions of dollars unfold daily. From milking cows in the Netherlands, to dredging ancient channels, to uncovering a hidden fortune beneath his own house. Tony Beets has built not just a mining legacy, but an enduring symbol of perseverance, leadership, and fearlessness. He often reminds fans how he arrived in Canada with only $300 and a dream to build a future for his children. And through 40 years of relentless effort, he did exactly that. As Tony Beets pushes toward his lifelong dream of 5,000 ounces. The final question hangs in the cold Yukon air. After everything he's conquered, will he finally reach it? Only time and the unforgiving Yukon will decide. If you want to follow every twist in his journey, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.